Shabbat Shalom, everyone. The wonderful Janet Montroy is being wonderfully and Janety in Cleveland with the wonderful Cantor Vladimir Lapin this Shabbat, which is so cool for them. And so we're having an acoustic, well, that's acoustic also, but we're having a guitar led by me service, which seemed fun for our planned camp send-off. And I have no idea when to do a camp send-off because it seems like as we get closer and closer to camp, everyone gets busier and busier, but you can't do a camp send-off in April. So for those of you who are heading off to camp, which I know is why Malcolm is here, I'm kidding. We are glad you're here, but we are glad you're here. And all of us, we will welcome and I know it's a little out of tune, right? Yeah, should I fix it before we keep going? It's going to be very painful to listen to. Well, but then you have to listen to me tune my guitar, which also could be painful. Okay, Marina, we'll sing a cappella while I tune in the other room, and then I'll come back.
Give me the key. Here we go. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. And we're on page 128, if you're wondering, bracketed page. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Well, we're going to continue Welcome Shabbat. We're going to stay on the same page, and we'll do a little bit of Ma Yafeh Hayom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. מה יפה היום, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
So I was mostly sharp. There were a couple of flat notes, but I feel like there's something about being like doing too much in the like being sharp in my strings right now about this sort of like high paced. Even when I was trying to tune it by ear, it wasn't working because there's too much happening, which is why we need Shabbat. So that's better, right? There's too many musicians in the room to try to play an out of tune guitar in this sanctuary this Shabbat. That I knew was never going to be an option here. So we are on bracketed pages 138, and this is the Chadodi, which is poetry that helps us, this whole part of the service, ease into Shabbat. This melody comes from Israel. We don't really know exactly where it comes from, but sort of attributed to one of the big Reform congregations in Jerusalem. So just going to make my plug. If you're still thinking about our Israel trip, you should come. I know it says May 15th on the flyer, but that's just, a date. Time is relative, and you should come to Israel. Page 138 and 139.
Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, lai, lai, lai. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, lai, lai. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, ish v'yanu elav yuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, v'shemo tiferet v'li tzilah. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, lai, lai, lai. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'lecha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, lai, lai, lai. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai.
Verse 5.
Itoreri, itoreri, ki vorechu miori, uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, lai, lai, lai. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai.
Verse 9. Here in the sanctuary, we rise in body or in spirit, facing our entrance. At home, doing the same, facing the entrance to whatever space you have set up for yourself this Erev Shabbat.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei am segula boi chala Dodi likrat kalai yelalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabelai lai 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 lecha dodi likrat kalai yelalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabelai.
Before you sit, take a moment and greet someone you have not yet said hello to this Shabbat in our sanctuary. You might have to step out of your row. That's okay. All right, cantors. I'm going to invite you to light candles tonight, but I have to park here. Marina can go assist because I have to stay here. We are on bracketed page 120. The cantors will help us light our Shabbat candles this evening. This moment of marking a transitional noticing of, even though it's light out, as we light our Shabbat candles, this is the start of our start of Shabbat.
Oh, hear our prayer, we sing to you. Be gracious to the ones we love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear our prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
So as we get ready to offer Kiddush, what are the blessings you would add to our cup? What is good this week? Eileen. Beautiful. So celebrating life cycle moments of sorts around especially Jewish education and receiving a chumash, which is beautiful. Marina.
Nella turned 14 on Sunday.
Wonderful. Nella turned 14. Happy birthday. Awesome. Lanny.
October, Susan has announced her engagement.
Oh, mazel tov. Susan's engaged. And do you like the person that she has decided to hang out with?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's good. That makes it even sweeter. Wonderful. Michael.
We have all three of our children at home with us for a few days.
That's beautiful. All three of your kids are home, and Malcolm wins because he is here. Excellent. You can tell Renee I said that, but not really. Renee, I got you. Max.
My cousin and his wife in Jerusalem are expecting their fourth child.
Beautiful. Max's cousins are expecting B'sha'a Tova. Casey. School is almost over. Amen. Yeah. Good. Let's see. Do we have blessings here? Oh no. The Wilds at home say that they're thankful that their neighbor's family escaped safely from a 2-alarm fire last night across the street. We are also grateful for that. I don't know whether that was Jeff or Susan or both of you. Joanne shares that she enjoyed a family virtual phone call. I'll share that my older son graduated from elementary school today. I have a lot of feelings about that. And it was very sweet. And also, I'm not ready for middle school. But he is, and that's what matters. So, yeah, milestones all around. All right, well, if you didn't share a blessing and you're just hanging on to it, you can tell somebody or us later or over a cookie at the Oneg. And if, as I say this each week, if it's hard to notice what that blessing is in your life, then hopefully this breath, this Shabbat, this break will offer us the space we need to be able to make room for the blessings to rise to the surface. And speaking of rising, please rise. Page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'avim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. We remain as we are, page 146. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, 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 yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. I'm just going to invite you to take the deep breath for Shabbat that I need. We have these prayers in between Baruch Hu and Shema, which really walk us through this transition, noticing how day turns to night,
and feeling God's love actually for us through laws and through teaching and through structure, just like this moment here. So I invite you just to take a deep breath, making space for the gift of Shabbat. Page 232. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Page 234, please be seated. Et Adonai. Oh, it's not 232. Do you know what I'm in? It is 232, but I'm in the Shabbat morning mode of blessings. It's page 154, even though you'd find all those things there too. Sorry, but really it's Shabbat evening.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
So if you look at page 154, you'll see there's two paragraphs. That's because although this is all from the Torah, it comes from two different places in the Torah, and Les knows what I'm about to say, which is what? Oh, it's okay, he didn't pay attention, but he does know what I'm about to say because he's going to be chanting these verses for us tomorrow at the atrium minyan. The last paragraph is actually two verses of Torah, and they come from this week's Torah portion, from Shalach Lecha. And though we're not going to be talking about them this morning, it's just worth noting here that this text is text that we offer, all the time in services, but also as we encounter it in our weekly Torah portions. So that's just neat to sort of locate ourselves in the story of our people. Now Les knows what I'm talking about. Yes, because he is all ready to chant those verses tomorrow. I do know that. Page 159. We'll see. I have faith. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Now, I always wonder here, what exactly would our world redeemed look like, right? That's what these words are asking us to think about. It's forward thinking, it's our imagination. What would that moment be? The Israelites are sort of struggling with that question right now in our Torah portion. We'll talk more about that when we get here in our service. But if you were going to be actually pushing your imagination to picture what these words describe, what would the world redeemed look like? What would the song sound like? This is the one the Israelites start with because it's the beginning of their redemption journey, but it's not the end. That's the whole point of our story. So we're on 158.
Adonai et Yaakov, ugelo miat chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga Yisrael.
The next piece of liturgy sort of answers, at least offers an answer to that question about this world of wholeness, and it's a world also of shelter and of peace. Page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelters from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will.
Baruch atah Adonai, Aporei Sukkot Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Aporei Sukkot Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai, Aporei Sukkot Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
Page 164, please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדיו ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מחלקל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדום מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We continue privately through pages 180 and 181. You may do so standing or seated, as is your custom. Page 647.
עוזי וזמריה, באי לי לישועה. עוזי וזמריה, באי לי לישועה.
So our Torah portion this Shabbat is called Shalach Lecha, and it's a great Torah portion. There's so much good stuff in it. Will I remember to put this back on later? I don't know. Hopefully. I don't think I need 2 mics on. Seems like that's not going to be necessary. I am loud enough. Okay, so our Torah portion this week is called Shalach Lecha, and it is known, I would say, best for 2 pieces. One I've already told you. It's the last 2 verses of the Ve'ahavta, and also tied to that, you'll see my pun in a minute, is the instruction about the tzitzit. You get it? Tied. Thank you. That just came to me. But it's actually just the end, and it's a small part of the portion. The main part of the story is about the scouts, right? We are sort of hanging out with the scouts who are sort of sent on a mission. So let's just take a step back. Let's fill in the blanks of the story. So what's the story of the scouts, or the spies, depending on which translation you're reading? Who are they? What are they scouting? How does it go? Cheryl?
Okay, so you take 12 scouts.
12 scouts. Why 12? Because there's 12 tribes, right? So one person, one man, one person from each tribe is sent to scout what? The land of milk and honey. Great. So where are the Israelites right now then? Are they far away or are they close? They're close. Great. But it's only June 16th, and we have enough Torah portions left to get all the way to Simchat Torah, which I will tell you is in October. So how is it that it's only June 16th, the Israelites are close, and we have to get till October before we finish the Torah? The answer to that is partially in how this story unfolds, right? Because we have to be close. If there are 12 people going to check out Israel, we got to be close enough for them to go. Okay, 12 people, they happen to be men, go scout out the land. And what do they find? Giants. Well, they perceive giants, right? So they go and they come back, and there are conflicting reports. 10 of them say, there are giants in the woods, right? That's the line, right? There are sky, okay. There are giants in the land, if we're channeling into the woods. Okay, so 10 of them come back and are like, no, they are big. We look like grasshoppers to them, is actually what the text says. That's how small the scouts feel. And 2 of them say, what? We can do it. Now, who sent them on this mission? Who has their back? Moses, and therefore, God. Okay, so 12 people go on a mission sent by Moses and God to check out the land that God promised them. And 10 of them come back and they say, oh, no way, Jose, we cannot do this. And 2 of them come back and say, okay, just for remembering people, so we lift up names. Who are the 2 people who were enthusiastic and positive? Caleb and? Good, Joshua. I'm not talking more about them. I just want you to know who they are. Okay, Caleb and Joshua are the 2, and that matters because Joshua is the person who actually succeeds Moses, follows Moses when Moses dies in October at the end of the Torah. Okay, so normally when we read this portion, when we study the scouts, we focus on the giants and grasshoppers pieces because we're trying to figure out what were the scouts afraid of. How is it they went to check out a land that they have been traveling this whole way to get to, that God promised them, and then they come back afraid, right? How is that the outcome of this trip? So we know that they may have been afraid because they felt small, but Rabbi Jonathan Sachs teaches just a slight variation on this text, which I love when it falls on this Shabbat, especially as we all sort of get ready to go off in our own adventure lands for summer or whatever our lives will bring us, trips to play music all over the country, things that like summer brings us, right? So Rabbi Jonathan Sachs teaches a teaching that he learned from a teacher, and he teaches that the scouts, especially the 10 scouts, were not afraid of failing. What might they have been afraid of? Say it louder. No. So they're not afraid of negative things. They might be afraid of losing people, right? Because they know they're going to have to go to war. That actually is going to happen. They are going to have to go to war to conquer some of the people who are there. But this is a different take on this sort of idea of what makes us afraid, right? So rather than being afraid that we're going to lose or fail, Rabbi Sachs offers us this teaching, which again was given to him by his teachers, that suggests that maybe the Israelites were afraid they were going to succeed. So what's happening in their lives right now? Where are they? They are in the Midbar still, right? They're in the wilderness, they're in the limbo, they're in the nowhere. And there's something maybe a little bit easier about that, right? They haven't had to set up their new lives. They haven't had to figure out how to put all these laws into place. They haven't had to figure out really how to feed themselves, because manna is still appearing for them. They know exactly where God is and isn't. They know when to travel. They know exactly what to do. Now, they complain a lot. It's not that this is actually like utopia. They're very kvetchy. But they are close to each other. They are living in community. And they are being cared for kind of like children, right? They have a lot of security, even though they're stuck in the wilderness and totally susceptible to other attacking nations. It's not that it's all peaches and cream, but it's not the next life. It's not the thing they're trying to get to. So, Rabbi Sachs teaches, maybe the scouts were not afraid of failure, but maybe they were afraid of actually getting there, of actually having to do the thing that they've been talking about doing. And maybe they're afraid of what the next version of their life was going to look like and how it would feel. And would their people be around them? And would God be visible in a cloud by day and a fire by night? And would they be hungry? And would they feel safe and happy and rejoice, right? So this is a really different way of thinking about the scouts. And I love, as I said when we started, I love when this portion finds us right around this time of year, when we're all about to go off into adventures. So you don't have to answer this out loud, but just take a moment. I mean, you could, but you don't have to. And just see if you can identify a time in your life when you were reluctant or even afraid to try something. Just stop there. Something you were afraid to do, or nervous to do, or hesitant to do. And what was it that got you caught up? Was it being afraid of failure? Was it also, doesn't have to be a binary, right? Was it possibly also a fear of what success might look like and what the implications of success might be for your life or for yourself or your relationships or wherever you are sort of picturing yourself right now? Right? So when we sort of find ourselves hanging out with the scouts again this week, we are sort of brought into this moment for ourselves too, right? To notice that this is part of the story, and what God learns here, and God actually punishes the people. The reason it's June and we have to get to October is because the people who went, this generation of people who went to Israel, do not ultimately get to go to Israel, right? They have to wander. The scouts come back, the 10 people say, no way. The people basically freak out, and they say, oh, these 10 scouts said we can't do it. We're not going. And God punishes them and says, you know what, you're just not ready, right? It's too soon. You're the generation who left Egypt. We're going to need to make sure a new generation is here, that there is not actually lived trauma, but maybe inherited, but not lived trauma from leaving Egypt. And so the people who might have actually been that close this week, we're going to let their children go to Israel, right? Now, it is intended as a punishment, and I have a way of wanting to see things that is not as harsh or mean. So maybe this is an opportunity, therefore, in my sort of more positive choice to read the text this way, actually to allow the children of these people to build the life that they might have, right? Not to actually have their parents build the thing that they're afraid of, But ultimately, it does become a gift for the next generation to take this tradition. Take it or leave it. I'm acknowledging that's a sort of positive spin on the text because it is intended to be a punishment. So I'm telling you the truth, and I'm telling you sometimes I choose to hold on to different truths and stories, multiple truths. But this moment does remind us that it's okay to be afraid of success. And I would say, contrary to what our text teaches, that we want to keep going. We don't want our story to end the way the Scouts ends, right? We don't want to be afraid to see what life will take us. And that's a place sometimes where we look at a text and we say, this is a beautiful teaching. I can feel in a moment what these Scouts were feeling. And I don't want to let the fear of feeling like a grasshopper stop me from trying something new, right? I don't want to let the fear of what success might look like for my life stop me from trying to be successful. So it is June 16th, right? No matter where you are in life, your schedule is probably in some way touched by what's happening around us. Schools are ending, things are slowing down, whether you exist in a school world or just in the routine of our American calendar here. And think about what's coming for you this summer. And in particular, is there an opportunity this summer that you might take or might not sort of grab onto that you are feeling nervous about and that you're not sure you want to do because you're afraid, either just you're afraid because new things are scary, which is true, and or that you're afraid of what success might look like and how that might cause you to feel different or be different, right? This can happen at any time. I'm just offering it here for this summer moment. And how can you trust that you have the tools you need? Because the Scouts actually did have the tools they needed. For us, it's the Torah and each other. But how can we not let our fears make us be like the Scouts, right? How can we sort of see where they are and not be stuck where they are so that we can head into this summer with the opportunity to actually get to the land of milk and honey, and to not let our own fear of feeling like grasshoppers, which is very real, stop us from actually taking the adventure or even the very small step that waits for us. So, there are a few of you here, I think maybe, who are heading off to camp. Some of you heading off to camp? There's some people over here. There's at least a person over here I know. You guys going to camp? Where do you go to camp?
We go to camp at Camp Veritas.
Oh, very cool. Camp Veritas, right? Very nice. You guys want nobody has to say where they go to camp. Okay, knowing my people here, I'm not going to make you come on the bima because I think that might not make you happy. Is that true? Or would you like to come on the bima? Audrey wants to come up on the bima. Okay. Lappins, Audrey, come on. Silvermans. Is there anybody else going to camp this summer who's here? What? Yeah, working at camps counts. Totally. Max, where are you working? There you go, JCC Rockland. Anybody else starting a summer adventure? No? No other summer adventures? Well, I'm going back to camp this summer for the first time in a long time. I'm going to be on faculty at one of our URJ camps for 2 weeks. So that's going to be really fun. I'm actually very excited to be at camp. All right, so you beautiful people who are heading off into adventures of camp, actually, I want to ask, what blessings do you want to send first these young people off with? Young people of all ages, young at heart.
Appreciate that.
All right, yeah, me too. I'm going to camp also. I'm with you. What would you like to send us off to camp with? Curiosity. Beautiful. Right, this is a camp blessing. We're literally creating blessings right now. That's what we do. Remember? Post-priest. We got to bring the blessings, people. Curiosity. What else? A sense of adventure. Beautiful. Awesome. A willingness to try new things. Strengthening of friendships. Beautiful. Appreciation of nature. Love that. And a lot of bug spray. Fun. I was going to say fun if nobody else did. Thank you, Les. Winning color war. And also just maybe being a good, teammate along the way, even if your team doesn't win color war. Good. But you could win. It's okay. Not everybody is great at not winning at color war. Let's not be afraid to win. That's true. Thank you. Touche, Craig. And let's not be a sore winner, is what I really meant. Not being afraid to lose, but we know people, not on this bima, who are not always the kindest when they win color war. So, good. Nothing else? To be safe. Great. So, I think I'm going to hand Torahs to our Barnard. I'm going to hand a Torah to Audrey, because Audrey is a Barty board member, officially now, I think. Barty is our youth group. And, no, you got it. You know how to hold a Torah. You're Audrey. You can do anything. And I just want to look at you, and I want to say, now the Israelites, hey, Max, scooch over, because we're blocking these beautiful faces, especially from parents. I don't know, maybe you could see. The Israelites didn't know they had that Torah yet, but Audrey is holding the tools that remind us that all the adventures await are here for you to take and grow, and by the way, mess up and learn. It's not all going to be perfect, right? There's going to be bumps, but hopefully, mostly, there's going to be joy and fun and friendship and learning and not too many bugs and all kinds of things you didn't know you could do before you left, that you tried, that you did, that felt like the scouts realizing that even though they felt small, they were in fact not like grasshoppers, and the other people were not like giants, and they had the support of God and Moses and the people, just like Audrey is holding that Torah as they headed off on their adventures. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you, and may God watch over you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's face shine on you, and may God be gentle with you in all of your adventures. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may you notice God around you and all of the blessings that everybody here offered in camp food, in camp friendships, in camp singing, in camp bunks, on camp buses, all the places, all the little places where those moments happen. May you have fun, may you grow, and may you most especially come back and tell us all about your adventures at the end of the summer. Amen. Okay, Sadie and Eli, I'm going to show you how to open our ark because it's fun. Come. Just while we put the Torah back. There's a little button there. Okay, Eli, we're going to let Sadie close it in a second. Thank you. Good. Great. Now you know all the tricks of the trade. Welcome. You can go back. Go back to your awesome people you came with. We offer this prayer for healing for each of us on our journeys in health and maybe on our way, hopefully, back to health. Page 371. In the middle of the prayer, you'll have the opportunity to share the name of anybody you are holding close or praying for this Shabbat.
Berach Avotenu Bekor Habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
If you'd like to offer the name of anyone you are praying for, I invite you to do so now.
We also pray for Eileen Andriano, Trisha Anstey, Ann Baker, Leila Balestra, Debbie Becker, Marty Berglass, Susie Bernardo, Kenny Breslow, Suzanne Broder, Meryl Burley, Eileen Shansgood, Andrew Citron, Lois Collin, Ori David, Shub DeRosa, Hugh Dugan, Juanita Douglas, Gail Eisen, Raymond Folkman, Phil Good, Susan Goodstead-Levin, Jill Gordon-Layton, Linda Gottlieb, Melissa Griegal, Jason Hodashin, Gary Harrison, Lois N. Horowitz, Judith Jason, Dr. Ellen Cantor, James Kaufman, Risa Kaufman, Barry Kessler, David Klein, Rabbi Michael Kuskin, Larry Levine, Mike Levine, Beverly Lewis, Michelle Levy, Eugene Lipkowitz, Matt Mascari, Juliana Merlucci, David Miller, Mikey Norman, Brendan Osis, Andrea Pakin, Hugh Pollock, Ava Rasmussen, Randy Ringler, Hope Rothenberg, Shirley Schnitzer, Dan Schaffler, Mindy Schwartz, Shmuel Ben Blanca, Joanne Siegel, Adam Sifre, Beth Silverman, Bob Sonnenklar, Joseph Steck, Rhonda Stein, Erica Summers, Karen Untig, Joyce Weinberg and Stephen Weinberg, Teddy Wall, and Michael Wolf.
Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Page 586, the lower half of the page. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, latei gedula le'yotzer Breshit, shelo asanu keglayei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu koreim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 591 in the middle of the page. Please be seated. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Page 598. And we remember with love those whose yahrzeit fall, in particular this time of year or on this Shabbat. This week we remember Charmian Anthony, Issy Berman, Francis Brown, Leona Brover, George L. Brown, Elliot Feldman, Faye Gitlin, Manning Goldman, Vera Hopkins, Clara Kirshner, Theodore R. Levine, Ida Miller Lipsitz,
Adrian Rosenthal, Albert H. Slater, Miriam Springer, Joseph F. Villa, Albert Weber, and William Weinberg. During this period of Shloshim, we remember Karen Yucht, Seymour Hurwitz, Reba Arco, and Richard Landau. If there are others you're remembering and you'd like to share their name, I invite you to do so now.
Moshe Abramson.
If you are observing a yard site or are in one of these early periods of mourning, I invite you to rise first. Again, we do this as a way for also the rest of our community to know who to check in with and to reach out to. Were we in a traditionally observant community, this is the group that would typically stand for Mourner's Kaddish. We rise together as one community, right? That's the way we support each other. But when we do that, we miss out on the opportunity to notice who stands first. So we say to the mourners in our midst, Zichronam Livracha, may the memories of your beloveds become blessings as you live, and we rise together. Yitkadal v'yidkadash Shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, be'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam U'lalmei Almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yit'aleh V'yithalal Shemei Dekudesha Barichu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Da'amiran Be'alma V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all people everywhere. We say together, Amen. Okay, some very quick announcements. Tomorrow morning we have our atrium minyan, which I actually get to go to for the very first time this year. I'm very excited. So we meet at 9:45, right, Jackie, in the atrium, hence the name Atrium Minyan. Our service will begin promptly-ish at 10 o'clock. It's about an hour. If you've never been, you can join me, because I've never been either, and I'm really looking forward to it. More informal, more very accessible, some Torah reading, and really looking forward to that, so hope you'll join us. Tomorrow, do you have something to add to that or no?
Yeah, then we have a little nosh after.
And there's a little nosh after, obviously, because we're Jews. Tomorrow, late afternoon, early evening, Barnard is co-sponsoring a Pride concert in Oakland, which hopefully you've gotten many emails about. And it should be great music. There's going to be food beginning, I think, 4:45 or 5. We really could use a couple more Barnard hands to go help just sort of get things going. So if you are around and available, you can let me know here at the Oneg, or you can email. I might not check my email at Shabbat, but the information is on the website and it was in your email. So if you could just show up at 4:45 there, or you can tell me here if you're in the building. We'd love to have you there to help. We're really excited about supporting this concert. And one of the two main performers you'll know from Barnard, Jason Robinson, is the tenor in our quartet. And most recently, and every year now, he plays Haman. So he's going to be not offering, Haman-style songs, but it is his part of the show is all Broadway show tunes. And the other person is doing a lot of Elton John, I think. I think it's going to be a very cool and also important concert, especially for where it is. So you should go. And it's happening rain or shine. If it rains, which hopefully it won't again, but if it rains, we're going to move into Ponds Reformed Church, which is where this is anchored. So you don't need to worry about the rain. Hopefully it won't rain, but we're doing it no matter what. Okay. Next Friday is Barnard's Pride Shabbat, and we'll be in the social hall with the Ben Wish Trio. Jackie Sellen, who I'm looking in the back, is our our guest darshanit that Shabbat. She's going to speak both about Torah and also about particularly the mental health and other health risks to LGBTQIA+ youth, and how we can be allies and helpers and people who bring wholeness to those who are most at risk. June 30th is the start of our summer Shabbats, which just means we're at 7 o'clock every Shabbat for the summer. You don't have to keep checking your calendars. And I think I got it. Come to Israel with me. We're going in November. It's going to be super duper fun and awesome. .com. Okay. We'll have a little motzi, and then we'll end with our final prayer for peace. Here, you can hold this. I'm doing too many things. What's new?
All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat shalom.